it's 0 degrees outside. This place is hopping inside as we get ready to tip it off. And the Longhorns get the first possession of the game. And there's Madison Booker, the freshman. She is a special, special player.
It's going to be real interesting to see how K-State decides to try and defend Booker in this game.
Deanna Gaston gets just her second start of the year. She misses that shot. Aaliyah Moore in her first start of the year for Texas. So Vic Schaefer is shaking up the lineup. Kansas State is not. This has been their same lineup all year long. Sundell, the point guard. Gabby Gregory, the fifth year, the transfer from Oklahoma. The Glenn twins. They've been starting this way all year long. Only one loss for Kansas State as Aoka Lee goes up inside. That was to Iowa, even though this Kansas State team beat Iowa and Caitlin Clark earlier this year. There's that starting lineup, Cheryl, for Texas. Vic Schaefer's going to mix it up a little bit today.
Yeah, we talked to Vic about his lineup and why he chose to start who he did. But one thing that I do know is the old saying, it doesn't really matter how you start the game. What matters is how you end it.
And an offensive rebound. The rebound battle is going to be very interesting today as they go into Lee. She gets the rebound. She puts it back in, and she is fouled by Booker. Yeah, Jones is going to come into the game, but with that basket, Aoka Lee already has hit now 2,000 points. She needed just 4 today. She's got them already. Second active player in the country with 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. What a remarkable career.
Texas just needs to just handle the pressure early on, and they'll find a way to score.
They don't handle the pressure there. A 2-on-1 for Kansas State. Glenn missing, but she's fouled.
Well, one thing that Aoka Lee does, she just creates so many opportunities, not just for herself. On the defensive end, we know what she's going to bring. She controls the paint, but offensively, because she just demands attention.
Briley Glenn, one of the Glenn sisters at the free throw line. She makes both. Gonzalez off the screen, hits it. Gregory on Moore, that's going to be a fun matchup, and that goes off the back of the backboard. And we saw them beat Iowa earlier this year. They really frustrated Caitlin Clark and that Iowa team. Now, Iowa came back and beat them on a neutral court in another game later, but that's the only loss for Kansas State this year.
Well, and you know what, to me, what makes them so good, it's not just what the guards are doing on the perimeter, able to defend.
And she connects on the first. Florida State hosting number 11 Virginia Tech. Then Angel Reese and number 7 LSU.
Causing problems getting the ball inside to Lee.
A little give and go with Walker. Shot clock is winding down. Lee has to hoist it up. And Texas with a good defensive possession.
Yeah, that's a shot that I'm sure Coach Schaefer will give Lee all day long. As long as you can get her off the block.
Jones with a good rebound. Lee got a hand on it. Jones going to go right back at Lee inside. Moore with an offensive rebound and put back, and that's what Texas does so well. They out-rebound their opponents. Leah Moore with the offensive rebound completes the three-point play. It was the 9th game that she had the injury, so she is coming back. Her first game this year was at the Paradise Jam on November 24th, so just continuing to knock the rust off, as Vic Schaefer likes to say.
Defense.
Glenn takes it at Booker and banks it in. So Jones and Aoka Lee, that is an interesting matchup. Those two lead the nation in field goal percentage, number 1 and number 2.
They've stepped up. They found a way to come together.
So special to women's basketball overall, right? I mean,
absolutely.
When both you and I, when we heard the news that she had torn her ACL, my heart was just broken, and I know yours is the same. So, Rory, we know you're at home. We know that you are getting ready for your surgery. We know you are going to power through that rehab, but we miss you on the court. And you saw the numbers, how Madison Booker has really stepped up in Rory's absence. And Madison Booker isn't a natural point guard.
Right. And here's the thing to me that as a freshman, and I know we keep saying that, she has done things that your typical freshman just doesn't do. She plays with confidence. She plays with poise. She runs her team. She is going to be a problem in this game.
Moore with the steal and the score as they fill in those gaps. This is Taryn Sides with the ball for Kansas State, a freshman that has had some really good games this year for Kansas State. Sundell.
The pressure that Texas is putting on. And Sundell right here just attacking the paint, embracing the contact, and one.
For the Wildcats, Serena Sundell, just a 63% free throw shooter. She has so much on her shoulder. Vic Schaefer is shouting out the play for Booker. Aaliyah Moore going to work on Maupin. We had a couple of defenders there trying to make it tough, and it's just a battle between these two.
Did not let her go off, and early on in the game I thought she did a really nice job of scoring one-on-one. I also think they have to score in transition and cause discomfort job for this Texas team in the absence of Roy Harmon.
Aoka Lee and Gabby Gregory subbed back in. They tried to get an inbounds play to Sides, the three-point shooter, but she was off the mark. And here goes Booker going to work. Got it.
Point guard. She's bigger than most of the guards that are going to be defending her.
Walker misses, but Lee is there against Aoka Lee. Lee at 6'6", so hard to keep off the board.
Brenda, that's what makes it so hard to defend Lee. She doesn't bring it down low for all these little pesky guards to come in there and take the ball out of her hands.
Neither team has missed a free throw yet, and Muhammad.
Nice attack to the basket to score.
Backdoor cut to Walker. Nice block from Gaston, and then an offensive foul called.
I don't know about the charge, but that's why I'm over here.
5 seconds to go in the first quarter. A screen set for Booker. Can't get it to go. And all right, we're already seeing. We're starting the second quarter here with Texas up 18-16. And just to continue on with that, after that loss to Baylor, Texas went on the road and beat West Virginia soundly, who had made it into the top 25, had not lost a game at that point. And then they went to Texas Tech and played well, and then played well against a pesky TCU team that's having a terrific year as well. So it's been a good adjustment time. Shaylee Gonzalez picks up her second. Yes, that's hard to pour salt in the wound there. Sundell makes her first free. Featuring our next one, Arkansas squaring off with Florida in Gainesville. Absolutely amazing what they had to go through to get here to this ball game. And how about Deanna?
And I love this matchup with Holly and Sundell.
How about that drive by Serena Sundell? Her attempts at the free throw line are actually down.
She's very capable of getting to the hole.
And look at Booker slicing between the defenders.
They would have taken that shot an air ball, would not look to shoot again. So quick.
55.8 points per game on the year. And there's another turnover forced. Ball out in transition, scores it. Kansas State's had 4 turnovers in the last 2+ minutes.
Right now, K-State, they're running nice backdoor.
And that's what you want to do against that pressure deep. Ball over to Moore, and Jones going to try to go to work against Lee again, missing back-to-back shots. That's tough to go up over 6'6".
Listen, even though she didn't block it, but when you're trying to go up and over 6'6", she will alter your shot.
And then away.
It's really hard to push her off of that spot.
Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, and Mike Evans and the Buccaneers. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Did you speak a little Spanish? That was nice.
Not much.
Oh, good D.
And here comes Lee to help. And now Aoka Lee is the all-time shot blocker in Kansas State history with an emphatic block shot.
Yeah, that should have counted as 2 blocks. Oh, that was nice.
Gabby Gregory, that's the first.
And then some.
8 ties, 8 lead changes in this game between number 10 Texas.
Madison Booker said, hold on a minute. That is so smooth. Nice little turnaround. Good pass.
Trying to get into a rhythm here. Booker. No, Muhammad with an offensive board and put back. Too high, too high.
Yes, block, shot blocker.
There you go.
In K-State history.
She moving up the charts on so many different categories for Kansas State. More dishing off to Gaston. Nice double team. Boy, that is a tough shot.
And Gaston just went down and said, this is for me. I'm going to get it and finish.
Oh, and just out of the reach of Aoka Lee. Under a minute to play here in the first half. What a great game this has been between two of the top teams in the Big 12, two of the top teams in the country. Aaliyah Moore tries to muscle it up, and then she strips it away from Lee, and in frustration, Lee commits Aoka Lee out of the game with the 2 fouls with just 38.8 seconds remaining. Got a sub over here at the table in Eliza Maupin. As Gaston misses both, but Aoka Lee's going to stay on the court with those 2 fouls.
I wonder why they didn't let the sub go in.
Can't go in between, and so
okay.
after the miss, so Aoka Lee's just going to have to be smart here. Gregory double team, kicks it out. About a 7-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. And Texas has it with under 10 remaining.
Oh, that's nice.
Gaston, no. Lee has it. There's time for a shot. And too late for Kansas State, and we'll go to the half. As we start the third quarter, just getting news of a big win in Ames, Iowa for Iowa State as they upset number 4 Baylor. So now Baylor's lost to Kansas and Iowa State this week, their first 2 losses of the year. Iowa State still undefeated in Big 12 play. The only other team that's still undefeated, this Kansas State Wildcat team, and Texas going to try to do something about that today.
Yeah, and K-State, they came out to start the third quarter in zone defense. I think right now they're thinking, we can't guard you. And I love K-State in a zone defense because they're so long, the length they have. So now K-State's back in their man, I think.
Yeah, right. It's kind of
yeah, they're back in their man. It may be a little make-miss strategy for Coach Mittie to start the third quarter.
Inside to Moore, and
nice.
Lee comes over. It looked like Lee kind of got her across the face, too, as she was going through. That would have been the 3rd foul if they would have called it on Aoka Lee. But no call. Glenn, a little floater in the paint. Nice. But she has not scored over Lee. Moore tries to go in again. Jones gets an offensive rebound and has that one blocked.
Well, I mean, Jones is going up against Aoka Lee. You know what I mean?
Remember, Aoka Lee did not play last year. She had that knee surgery and was out all season long. So she is back to Big 12 competition now. Aaliyah Moore gets a nice... Walker pulls up from 3. No. And Booker going to set up the play. We talked to Vic Schaefer last night at their practice about how much are things different. Obviously, there's a lot different with Rory Harmon not playing the point guard as Booker.
He had so many incredible things to say about Booker as a freshman, and obviously talking about how much they miss Rory. But, you know, he said from the time Rory, bigger guard, just so many complimentary things to say about Booker.
Moore with another offensive rebound off the Booker miss. Jones gets a hand on it. What a tough shot. And again, Texas has the luxury of subbing in 3 different players at that position to go against Aoka Lee. Lee fade away.
She said, oh, no. I don't just stay on the block and score. Nice turnaround, Jay.
Jones screens for Booker. That mid-range game.
Pull up, Jay.
Such a lost art, right?
Yeah, it is.
Booker back irons it. Gonzalez pushing ahead.
You know, I think sometimes you tend to forget. They can continue to establish and find Lee in the paint.
Madison Booker at the free throw line, makes both free throws. Booker uses the screen.
That's nice.
Out to Sundell for three, no. And Gonzalez there. And Gonzalez said, thank you, I'll take that rebound.
I think Gaston should get credit.
No kidding, right?
Some kind of way, right? For Texas, which is part of the reason why they have this lead. Great block by Gaston.
Look at what I found, says Imani. And she gets the first one. This afternoon, there's two men's basketball matchups. Number 18, BYU squares up. Booker. No, and Walker comes away with the board.
Luxury that Texas has with Coach Schaefer being able to throw in post player after post player after post player.
What a move to the basket for Walker.
I love the backdoor cut. I love it.
And a backcourt violation. Aoka Lee still getting some rest. Gabby Gregory twisted her ankle earlier, so we're not sure if we're going to see her back on the court. Walker up high to Lester, and that's too much time in the air for that ball.
Usually in a position like that, they would go to Lee in the paint.
4.8 seconds on the shot clock. Walker steps back, piece of it. Texas gets another stop, and Vic Schaefer says one shot. And Vic has taken his jacket off. That's the indication that it's serious, right?
Yeah.
Gonzalez off the screen, bounce past him. 2.5. Walker, if it goes.
What a play.
Here's a summary. Aoka Lee, 13 points overall, just 2 in the third quarter, though. Booker and Moore are leading the way for Texas. Kansas State is undefeated in Big 12 play. Iowa State, the only other undefeated team. They just beat Baylor today. Texas down by 1 now as we start the fourth quarter.
But that is to be expected. K-State first possession, fourth quarter. They come out in that 2-3 zone again.
Another foul defending Aoka Lee. That's her third. And that was actually the fourth foul on Taylor Jones. So she goes to the bench as Gaston and Aaliyah Moore taking care of the interior responsibilities for Texas.
And Gabby Gregory back in the game for K-State.
That's good to see. She had rolled her ankle earlier when she stepped on Aaliyah Moore's foot. So good to see her. She's still hobbling. 5 seconds on the shot clock for K-State. We'll see how much that last second shot at the end of the third quarter lifts them. Sundell has it on the block. Booker steps into one, too strong. And there, we saw that again.
And lots of times it's the player that's boxing out, it's not about her getting the rebound, but it's so her player doesn't get it and someone else can come in and grab the rebound.
High-low pass, beautiful pass. Moore, who has been tough in this game, blocked by Lee. Gonzalez tried to throw it up, and then there's Moore. As Aaliyah grew up in Moore, Oklahoma, which isn't too far away. As Aaliyah Moore, ESPN with number 21 Florida State hosting number 11 Virginia Tech. Then Angel Reese and number 7. They're usually pretty efficient when they take those shots. Yeah. Not today.
Juan Gonzalez had been shooting the ball pretty well as of late, but that defense by K-State today is not allowing her to get that shot off.
Offensive rebound and back. Look what I found, Aoka Lee. On the verge of a double-double as Lee with 17 points and 9 rebounds for K-State. Lee has that one stripped away, and then it goes off, they're saying, off Moore's foot. Texas usually turns their opponents over 8.5 more times than they have turnovers. But this has been pretty even in this game, though a foul called on Sundell on the illegal screen. Moving forward toward Booker. That's just
that's a tough call.
That's a tough call, and it's there's a lot of physical play out here. Good decision by Moore. She was double teamed. Get it out away from the defense. 6 on the shot clock. Booker changes gears, steps back. If that goes, wow. But no, Lee with the rebound. 6 gap goats. That means 6 times this Kansas State team has stopped Texas 3 times in a row, but Texas defense has been pretty good too.
Yeah, and when your freshman is looking to attack and everyone else on the floor is looking to get the ball to her, that just shows you and tells you how much respect they have for Booker's game.
Kansas State with a 5-point lead. Under 5 minutes remaining. Texas had led by 1 at half. It was close all through the third quarter until Texas spread it out to a 6-point lead, and then an 11-0 run opened things up for K-State. Try to go inside to Lee, but Gonzalez there. And
you could just kind of throw the ball up towards the basket, and she's going to find a way to go get it. 1 second, it's got to be a lob pass of some sort.
And they do that, and
nice. Again, when you have a player like that,
that's what you got to do, right?
It's so easy, or at least she makes it look easy because it's not that easy. But also a great pass by Sundell.
Beautiful, on the mark. That ties the biggest lead of the game for Kansas State. And with that basket, a double-double for Ayoka Lee. 19 points, 10 rebounds. Let's take a look again.
Yeah, I mean, Lee just kind of standing there. Sundell, perfect lob pass. Lee goes and gets it for easy two.
Well, you talked about Serena Sundell, what a day she is having. It could not have been a better pass. Gonzalez, second three-pointer of the game for Texas. That's huge. She's got 200 three-pointers in her career, the transfer from BYU.
And Texas needed that. They needed that bucket.
And it kind of quiets the crowd a little bit. Walker, they're giving her space. Well, she was tempted. Glenn all by herself. Thank you very much, Jalen Glenn, with the 3. She's got 10 points now. And Vic Schaefer is just adamant with his play call. Boy, Muhammad may have gotten away with a travel there, but she scores. And a timeout on the floor because Gabby Gregory, Muhammad scored the basket, and Gregory is out of the game. That is a huge loss for Kansas State here in a critical time of the game. Sundell gets a squeeze away from the lead, though, and stretches the lead back out to 5.
Well, yeah, losing Gregory, and it's not about her scoring in this game. It's about everything else that she's done, rebounding, defending, but finding Lee, making good passes, so a huge loss for them. But Sundell is doing a really nice job keeping them, making sure they keep this lead.
Ayoka Lee affecting another shot from the best field goal percentage player in the country in Taylor Jones. She misses another. Now on this end, Kansas State, 4 of their last 4 they have made.
Well, they're doing such a nice job of running their offense, knowing what they're looking for, who they're trying to get the ball to, and they're just scoring.
And again, how many times have we seen this for Kansas State? The ball gets knocked out of bounds. They don't have much time on the shot clock, 1.2 seconds. Last time they did this, they lobbed it to Lee. Let's see what they have this time.
I think it's a little too far out for the lob pass.
Glenn off the side of the backboard.
Well, now is the time for Booker to look to attack, even if she's not looking to score, but she can attack and create for one of her guards or one of her post players to get a good shot.
Texas has beaten Kansas State 8 times in a row. Kansas State looking for its first win over Texas since 2019. And Booker makes the first free throw. Arkansas squaring off against Florida in Gainesville. 6 more hours of college hoops that you can also watch on the ESPN app from anywhere. So they have fouls to give here. That might have been part of Vic Schaefer's message, too. We can be ultra aggressive here because we have fouls to give.
Yeah, and they're not trying to let Sundale get the ball back. They want someone else to get them in their offense. So they're going to make Walker get them in their offense. That's
Going to your All-American. She goes up tough over Jones to extend the lead to 5.
But at this point in the game, if you're Texas, though, you cannot let Lee have it that easy on the block.
You knew where the ball was going.
And rightfully so.
If you can't get the ball to Serena Sundell, get it to Lee, and she got it. Here's Booker, pulls up top of the key, got it. 2-pointer. And Vic Schaefer calls, well, they both called a timeout. They have so many fouls to give, or do they just play great defense?
I would foul. Not on the shot, of course.
And it was tipped. They're saying it was tipped by the defense. Vic Schaefer wants a backcourt violation, but Gonzalez got a hand on it. They're going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, and at this point, I wouldn't foul, right? Because you run a lot. 9 seconds on the shot clock.
Ball deflected. Oh, and that goes off Aoka Lee. So Texas gets their defensive stop. 15.2 seconds remaining. Texas just has one timeout left. And right now, Vic Schaefer decides to call it. He calls his last timeout of the game so he can advance it. All right, so Texas inbounding, Holly with the ball, and there's Booker with the ball in her hands. You don't want to let too much time go up the clock. Gonzalez has it blocked, and it's saved in bounds. Kansas State able to get it, and a foul. So again, there's the second team foul for Texas. They're going to have to foul 3 more times and get their first victory over Texas since 2019. Sundell gets it to Lee. She holds on, and finally a foul, but about 3 seconds ticked off for Gaston. That's just the 3rd team foul. Sundell with 1.4 remaining. Gets it to Lee, and a foul committed as Lee catches the collision. Oh no, and Texas is saying come down to help out with Gaston. Remember, she missed 9 games early this year with an ankle injury. And right away, Gaston grabbing her ankle.
Oh, you hate to see it.
And Gaston is screaming in pain. And everybody hushed here as this Kansas State team ready to celebrate a win, but being respectful of Gaston here as she is being helped to the other end of the court.
Sometimes you just can't catch a break.
Gaston, such a tremendous player for this team. Missed 9 games at the beginning of the year. An all Big 12 first team performer last year. And now with 0.8 seconds remaining, all Kansas State needs to do is get the ball inbounds, and they do. Kansas State knocks off number 10, Texas. They beat the Longhorns.